your business. I don't have anything on my work experience about my nursing career because I haven't done it in over 30 years and I figure I'm never gonna do it again, so why put it? So think about, I've had a lot of people ask me, well, I've owned several companies, do I put that in there? Absolutely, because remember what I said, your credibility. So go back as far as you can so that you build that credibility. Yes, sir.
So, having been in the business a long time, I stripped all the dates out. I stripped the dates out of my graduation, the diplomas, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There are no dates on my profile in LinkedIn or on my resume.
Okay,
So,
that's okay.
any positives or negatives with what I did?
I tell people over 50 don't go any further back than 20 years, 25 tops, because whether people want to believe it or not, or whether it's an unspoken thing, people absolutely do. If you're over 50, they will look at it and go, oh, this person's over 50. So it's okay that you don't put the dates on there. I don't plan on ever working for anybody ever again in my life, so I've got all my, how long I've been doing everything on there, because I'm building my credibility. Education. If you have a college degree, please put that on there. And if you have any continuing education from a trade school, put that on there, because you're building your credibility. License and certificates, even for careers that you may have had in the past, because you're gaining your credibility on LinkedIn. If they see that you have expertise in certain areas, you want to make sure they know that you're licensed in this, that, whatever. I just trained a gentleman this afternoon that he's got a string of credentials like this behind his name, and I want him to have those, because each one of those is something he's done in his career, and since he deals with it's really important he has all those credentials. Volunteer experience. This is another really, really important part of your LinkedIn profile. People ask me, well, why should I put my volunteer work? People want to do and be associated with people that are philanthropic and do things for others. So if you've done any volunteer work in the last 15 years, put that on your LinkedIn profile. I had a lady about 3 weeks ago I trained, and she goes, well, I haven't done any volunteer work since I moved to Raleigh. She moved from upstate New York, and I said, that's okay. What did you do when you were there? Well, I did it with the Red Cross, Habitat for Humanity. I mean, the lady had done like a string of volunteer work. I go, we need to put that on your LinkedIn profile, because that lets everybody know you have a penance of helping other people. You want to help people. People are gravitated to people that want to help other people. Now, let's talk about the summary or the about section. Make it interesting. You have to make it interesting. If you don't make it interesting, people are not going to connect with you. You have 2,000 characters right here in your LinkedIn summary, but you only have 3 sentences for me to like you, okay? Back in 2016, I had no less than about 8 LinkedIn trainers from around the world go, are you going to change your summary? I go, no. You're not? Well, you know you only get 3 sentences. I went, yeah. Yeah, but don't you need to tell people what you do? I go, I don't need to sell to people when I first meet them. I need to know a little bit about myself. So I let people know I'm a former race car driver. I'm a Duke Blue Devil fan. Racing saved my life. And I crew chief for my husband who still races. Now, how many boxes did I check? Everybody knows somebody that's had cancer. Check. So I've related to you on some level right there. I'm in the heart of North Carolina. Who doesn't know about racing? And whether you're a UNC fan, NC State fan, or Duke fan, you're gonna know I like basketball. So, think about your 3 sentences. Why should I connect with you? I tell people to put their hobby. What do you like to do outside work? You like to take long walks with your dog? You have grandkids, you love spending time with your grandkids. What do you do outside of work? Even something you think may not be interesting, the person that's reading it might. So, what we're trying to accomplish is what I call the old, in advertising, hook. I'm trying to get that person to click the show me more button. That's all I'm trying to accomplish with those 3 sentences. Because in the second paragraph is where I tell you everything that I've done in my entire career. In about 15 sentences or less. Why so short? How do you take an entire career and meld it down? I've got an editor for a husband, for one thing. But the reason you want to do it short is because we're dealing in social media. Nobody's going to read a book. They're going to look at it, they're going to glance at it, and they're going to be on to the next thing. So really give it to me quick. Tell me everything you've done. Or less. Now, creating a company page. It's really important that if you are a business owner, you have a company page. Why is that? Well, you go to the little work button up at the very top of your LinkedIn profile, down to create a company page and small business. It's so simple. LinkedIn walks you through it. So why is it really important for us to have that? Because on your LinkedIn profile, if you do not have a company page, you cannot populate your logo beside your business experience. Can't do it. Had a lady call me and she was frantic. She goes, I've been trying to put my logo on my experience for an hour. How do you do it? I go, do you have a company page? Well, no. I go, well, then you can't do it. I said, LinkedIn will automatically populate your logo beside your experience if you have a company page. If you don't, you can't add one in there. It's going to be a ghost image. Let's talk about media for a few moments. And summary. You can add pictures, you can add links to your website, you can do a whole lot of things. And why would I want to do that? Because people love pictures of people. If you go to my LinkedIn profile right now and look at, I did this week because I wanted to see if it was still true. I posted 2 articles last week that were training articles, literally giving people all the new things that was happened on LinkedIn this year. Pasted it. It was like 60 things LinkedIn changed. I think it had like 326 views. I did another post that was really good about LinkedIn and the 5 things you need to do to be successful on LinkedIn. I think it had like 200 views. I posted a picture of a training class I did, which I'll do a picture of you guys before I leave. I guarantee you it'll have 500 to 2,000 views because it's pictures of people. People love to see pictures of people. When people see a group of people, they're looking, oh, do I know that person? And if it's at an event they went to, how many people, is this all one BNI group then?
No, it's various people.
Various people. Yeah. If you do any networking, get a picture of yourself at the networking venue. Just take a snapshot of the crowd and then post it. That will get more hits than anything you'll do because people go, I was there, am I in that picture? It's human nature. We're gonna do that.
I remember that photo. I actually did do what you said. I looked for people I knew.
That's it. You do.
Little Tom.
Yeah, Tom.
Toscana,
Yeah.
people do that. Oh, do I know anybody that's there? It's just human nature. We can't help ourselves.
Hi, this is Deborah Mathias with Connected Clients. I am shooting this video on my cell phone to show you how simple it is to put a video on your LinkedIn page.
I did that with my cell phone. As a matter of fact, I did another test at LinkedIn Local, the last one in October. All the people were coming in. They were coming in while my sponsors were still setting up their tables. People started showing up at 10:30. And I thought, I'm gonna do a video and see if I can drive people to the door. Hi, this is Deborah Mathias. I can get on my LinkedIn and show it to you. I'm here at LinkedIn Local. If you haven't got your ticket, you can come and register at the door. We had 30 people come and register at the door, and we've been having about 5 to 10.
Right.
So, videos work. It is the latest, greatest, hottest thing on LinkedIn. It also has now, but you have to apply to do it, and you should do it, Eric. It's called LinkedIn Live, where you have to fill out an application to LinkedIn to see if you'll be accepted to do a LinkedIn Live thing. Now, they require you to do at least one LinkedIn Live a week, and there's a lot of requirements, and frankly, I don't have time for that right now because I truly believe that a post with a video in it does the same thing.
Right.
Because there's one lady, and I'm not gonna say the name, but there's somebody on LinkedIn now that does like 32-minute LinkedIn Live things. Who's got that kind of time? I'll look at a 30-second, 45-second video. But after that, I got a short attention span. I'm like, squirrel. You know, I just, that's how social media is today. So get familiar with doing posts. Yep, gonna need your phone now.
Your phone.
Your phone. Get your phone out. Does everybody have the LinkedIn app on your phone? If you go to your LinkedIn app on your phone, I'll do this. Let's just start from the beginning. I'm gonna show you two things. You go back. Okay, this is what it looks like when you first get on LinkedIn, okay? What I'm going to show you now is how to send a video message on LinkedIn. I used to send happy birthdays to everybody, and happy birthday, and I had a cut and paste except for their name. And then I'd send a little gift that goes happy birthday, and you got a cat doing a, you know, you got like a little thing
Cat or
dancing
dog.
around. I love the one, there's a dog jumping up and down on a trampoline going, happy birthday, happy birthday. I love doing that. But this is more effective. Over in the corner where it says message, click on your messages. And I'm going to choose, let me see if I can find my husband. I don't send you too much, do I? Okay, I'm gonna search my messages for my husband. Let me do Dennis. D-E-N-N-I. Okay, Dennis. And there he is. Okay. So once you're in the message and you pick somebody you want to send the video to, click on the little plus. The little plus right there. Then when you click on the next one, it says video. Right there. Now I can go, hi sweetie, I had my phone turned around the other way, but this is your video. Now, watch this. Hi sweetie, I had my phone turned around the other way, but this is your video. And then all you have to do is click the blue button and you've just sent a video message to somebody.
That's very cool.
I do this especially for birthdays. I will go, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. I'm not gonna continue because this is gonna hurt your ears, or I'll say something kind of cute like that, and I've had more people go, that's the coolest thing, how did you send that video message? So it's really a great way to number one, reach out to new people that you've connected. Just say, hi, just connected on LinkedIn. I'd like for us to meet sometime to have coffee. Let's get together. That's all you got to say. Keep it 5 to 10 seconds. Any longer than that? Huh?
There it is.
There it is. If you do any longer than that, it'll probably tick people off. Okay, go back again. I'm gonna show you something that isn't on there. Go back to the screen when you first get on LinkedIn. Go right here to the little people in the corner. Click this blue button over here. And then find nearby. And anybody who is my first connection is gonna show up. I'm doing this at LinkedIn Local.
Wow.
Anybody that's in the room that is your first connection
You're gonna show up.
is gonna show up.
Okay.
There you go. Isn't that great? There's another one.
Fantastic.
This is the coolest thing ever. I will go into, now, the only problem with, and I've sent LinkedIn a note about this, you have to, the other person has to be on Find Nearby as well.
Sure.
You can't do it if it's not on, because I've tried. But this is a great way, if you're at a networking event, like a BNI or any other networking event, get connected, because anybody that isn't connected to me isn't gonna be on there, and I can go and go, hey, you and I aren't connected, why don't we connect?
Mhm. Very cool.
So, that's the latest, I think, greatest, coolest thing about LinkedIn. Okay, some of you were talking to me earlier about, well, how do you reach out to people on LinkedIn? Where do you find people to reach out on LinkedIn? Everybody on their LinkedIn profile has something called a dashboard. Okay? You do have to have the premium version to see who's viewed your profile, because if you just have the regular version of LinkedIn, you're gonna see one person and about 6 people faded out. So back in 2009, when I first got on LinkedIn, I went to the owner of Best Courier and I go, I need the premium version of LinkedIn, to which he goes, ain't happening, I ain't paying $205 a year for you to have that. I go, but I'm making sales on LinkedIn. He goes, prove it. I can remember the day I called my husband at work and I go, what is this Excel spreadsheet? It's got A, B, C, D, E, F. I'd never done a spreadsheet in my life. He goes, okay, calm down. You take and you pull that there, and he showed me how to do a spreadsheet. I'm still not proficient at it. He'll be the first to tell you that. But I knew enough to put the 13 different ways I was getting business from LinkedIn. And the number one place at that time I was getting business was who's viewed my profile. Because I'd go to all these networking events and I'd see people were looking at me. So I needed to know who they were. And I still today is my number one resource for seeing, number one, who's looking at me, number two, if I want to connect with them. And I just don't hit that connect button when I go and see who's looking at me. I go to their profile, because put these down since you're taking notes. If they don't have a picture, don't connect with them. Second thing, I have to have at least one connection with somebody before I will connect with them. At least one. So that I can go to that person and go, hey, do you know Billy Joe Jim Bob? Because if you don't know him, well, no, I don't know. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Now, most of mine, I have like 50 or 60 connections, so I figure the person's okay. And the third thing, if they've got that blue banner, chances are I won't connect with them, because it tells me one thing. They're not on LinkedIn very often. And I also go to their activity and click on activity. And activity will show you all the activity that they've done on LinkedIn in the last 90 days. And if they hadn't been on there in 2 months, chances are they're not gonna get my message. I remember back in the day when I first got on LinkedIn, I would copy my message in LinkedIn, go to their email, because I had my prospect list, and I would send my prospects an email saying, I just sent you a connect request on LinkedIn. I don't know what LinkedIn is, so I only send one message, but think about it. Be judicious. I yesterday had 32 people that wanted to connect with me on LinkedIn. You wanna know how many I connected with? 8. If they don't reside in this country, chances are I'm not gonna be doing business with them. With an exception of the LinkedIn local hosts that are around the world, I do connect with those people. And I actually have trained somebody in Canada before, but I spoke to the person first. Be judicious in who you connect with.
I was gonna ask you about that, so in other words, I got a lot of people from all over the country, but I'm not really gonna be doing business with any of them. What is your opinion of that? I mean, if you have so many people that wanna connect with you.
I mean,
pick
I
and
don't have
choose.
coffee with them.
Yeah, pick and choose.
So, pick and choose. That's my best advice. Am I connected with a lot of people outside the United States? Absolutely. But these are people that I network with on LinkedIn. These are people that share similar interests, sales, marketing, LinkedIn. So, if I don't have, like one of my biggest friends is in Australia. I speak with her often on LinkedIn. I've got other people that are in Canada. I've got people that are in Europe. But these are people, I comment on their posts and they comment on my posts. They're in my LinkedIn family. Now, second one, post views. When somebody views your post, if you have a screen that's going to show you all the people that have viewed your posts. Look at the people that are viewing your posts. This one is the granddaddy of them all, search appearances. Does everybody know the difference between search appearances and post views and who's viewed your profile?
Explain.
A search appearance means they actually had to go to the search bar on LinkedIn and put in my name. They didn't just look at my profile. They didn't just look at my post. They keyed in Deborah Mathias in the search box. That's a strong lead. A really strong lead. I would say that's how I get 40% of my business is who's been searching for me and why.
Does that apply to general searches? So I remember one of the tax guys I worked with, they typed in international tax Charlotte and he popped up.
Yeah.
So that would show there too, right? That kind of search.
Right. I need to really go to LinkedIn and show you.
Is that only premium, so that you're seeing all that?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. I'm gonna go to my profile so I can actually show you. Cause I don't have a slide of that. There's my dashboard. Right there. See the dashboard? Now I'm gonna go right here and it's gonna bring up the 233 searches I've had in the last week that actually keyed my name in. And it's gonna bring up, I've got LinkedIn looking at me. And they know they're looking at me because LinkedIn Local's getting ready to come up. So they're kind of keeping a watch on me. So let's go here to this Goodwill Ambassador. I've already followed them, but this will tell me all the people who have searched for me. So I look and there are the people that probably the top 3 to 4 that viewed my profile. And if I'm not connected to them, which I'm connected to these people, those would be somebody that I would go to and say, what's that?
Yeah.
What do you say? Don't you think we should connect? It's a lead. It's a warm lead. Now, The really good thing about this, I did this one, Advocare, yeah, I've done that one. I think I've been doing too much of my homework. It will have where it says visit website, it'll have follow. The first thing you want to do when you go to a company, because it shows the company, not the person, you want to follow that company. Why? It puts you on their radar. That's how you get your name out, is by following companies. Because there's somebody sitting at that company that's gonna go, that's managing that account, they're gonna go, Deborah Mathias is now following Aflac. Who is Deborah Mathias? And then they're gonna go look at my profile. Then when they look at my profile, then I'm gonna connect them, and it's like a round robin of networking with LinkedIn.
Where did you start that from? Like, what did you get in there?
We are on your profile. Go to your profile, right here. View profile. Now, let's go down and see, you got 15 search appearances. Let's see who these people are. They're people at SAS looking at you, okay?
FBI in there.
You already know. Let's go to First Citizens. Okay, First Citizens is a good one.
Yeah.
So first thing you wanna do is follow them. Now, let's go see all the pretty people there.
Yeah.
And is there anybody there you wanna do business with?
I know a few of them.
Yeah, well, the ones you don't know,
Yeah.
get to know.
Yeah.
It is one of the easiest ways to get business ever. Every day, probably 2 or 3 times a day, I look at who's viewed my profile. I looked at it today and I'm really interested. I'm up 21%. You know why? I did a video yesterday on LinkedIn. So everybody that saw that video is going, let me go look at that woman. So I was looking at this cat earlier today. This is John Crowder, National Account Executive at Bandwidth Incorporated in Apex. He's already sent me a connect request. He's somebody that viewed my profile. He's a national account executive. Bandwidth needs to have me come in and train their company. So I'll probably accept this guy's connect request, and I was sharing with, I'm sorry, your name? Jim. Earlier, in my training, I have canned emails that I send to everybody that accepts my request to connect. Now this guy, my accept message to him will be, thank you for inviting me to connect with you on LinkedIn. It is a pleasure to add you to my professional network. Next few weeks we can get together by phone, Zoom, or in person and see how we can network together to grow our businesses. Please send me a day and time that would be convenient for you. And feel free to forward any information you feel would be pertinent for our meeting. I look forward to speaking with you. Sincerely, Deborah Mathias. They get that, and I get the message, hey, can we meet on Tuesday at 2 o'clock? And I go, no, I'm booked, but we can meet. And that's how you network with LinkedIn. It's easy. So, activity. Let's go back to that. I was telling you about activity. First thing I do is go and look at somebody's activity. And this is what the screen looks like. I go and look at all their activity. Then I go and see if they've ever done any articles. And then I go and I look and see when the last time they posted was. If they posted 6 months ago, chances are they're not that active on LinkedIn. Well, this is where I live. So why would I want to connect with somebody that only jumps on 6 months, 6 months out of a year? No. Now, if they like, comment, and share other people's stuff, that's still being active. And by the way, just so you know, every like, every share, and every comment that you make on LinkedIn brings your search organization up. Even if you don't post or do videos, as long as you are looking at your connections material and commenting on it, you're going to get results. But the week that I did LinkedIn Local, I did 2 videos and 3 posts. And I hit Miller Marketing's top 25 list, and I was number 25.
Mm.
So it does mean a lot when you post and when you share other people's posts. And it's so easy to do.
What about when your business also posts and you post, like what are you looking at on that? Like, if the business posts an article or something, right,
Mhm.
and then you posted something individually,
Yeah.
Like
right?
the company page and then
The
the.
company page and then
Right.
the regular
You
page.
share the-
Right, everything that I do on my personal page, I share to I've got 2 pages. I've got my Connect to Clients page and I've got a Link Local Raleigh. By the way, ask to join my Link Local Raleigh because it's just for Raleigh people, for LinkedIn local people to advertise their wares. I'm not the type of person that you can only advertise on the 6th month, the 3rd day of the 1st Tuesday of each month. It's crazy. That's what LinkedIn is for. On my 2 pages, you can promote your business all day long. I want you to, because that's what it's all about. So, I try to mirror image every day page to my other 2 pages. When in a really busy week, I sometimes don't do that, and I'll be very honest. So, you look at their post, and see right down there, when you click on that, because under post views, it's going to show you how many people looked at your post. And that's the screen that it shows. So it gives you North State Bank, First Citizens, Red Cross. I mean, I've got all the information I need to go and connect with these people at these companies that viewed my posts. So I'll go to First Citizens. I'll look at 2 different ones, the ones I'm connected to and the ones who I'm not connected to. And for me to get into a company, I usually talk to the marketing director, the CEO, the CFO, the COO to get into a company. So who do you think I'm gonna be connecting with at that company? That's why when you said, how do you get past the gatekeeper? There are no gatekeepers in my world. I go straight to the top. I don't have to ask anybody, can I speak to Mr. So-and-so? I go straight to Mr. So-and-so and go, you wanna connect? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
A lot of information, I realized. If you, I have a class up February 18th. I will be doing a class with Dr. Holly Sullinger, and it's on how to create your internal board of directors. She'll be speaking in the morning, I'll be speaking in the afternoon. You can get both of us for a mere $249. If you just do one or the other, it's $149 for me and $149 for her.
Very nice.
So, and definitely come to LinkedIn Local, because we're gonna feed you and introduce you to a lot of people. We actually are doing something different, and I've been sharing this with people that I'm speaking with. We're actually doing color-coded name tags, so if you're looking to meet a certain industry, and if you go to Eventbrite and register, we're gonna ask you a series of questions to get who you want to meet when you get there. And we're gonna have a table set up that if you don't see anybody that you wanna connect with, we're gonna have the list of attendees so that my 5 connectors can show you to that person and introduce you.
Can we sponsor a tag? Could I invite clients?
Yes and yes.
Well, thank you very much, Deborah. If anybody has any other questions, she's here.
Their mind's
Yeah.
blown right
Yeah,
now.
they're
This is usually the part where everybody gets glazed over and they go, what?
One important
So-
question would be, beyond the LinkedIn Local, if somebody kind of wanted to get acclimated initially, does LinkedIn have some pretty good training online that they could go check it out and kind of get a sense before they go to a LinkedIn local where they'll get very detailed information?
Okay, I think I'm understanding the question. LinkedIn does have training. You can get all the kind of training you want on LinkedIn. It's gonna cost you a lot more than $149, but you can get training on LinkedIn. As far as networking on LinkedIn training, I don't know.
They don't really do that.
Are you talking about getting the most out of the event?
No, I'm thinking
Okay.
that initially, a lot of people will initially try and educate themselves up before they go to an event. So when you're speaking or somebody's speaking, they understand where you're going, what you're talking about, because there's a lot within LinkedIn,
Right.
right? Even just understanding how do you optimize your profile, what are all those different choices that it
Right.
asks you, so that you don't get if you're a newbie, if you will, to LinkedIn,
Oh, I see.
how
what
can I
you're
get
saying.
acclimated enough so that when I come to your session, you're mentioning certain words and places that I can make sure that I'm keep up the pace, right? That I'm understanding.
Right. That's why I'm starting to do 4-hour training sessions
Okay.
next year, because 2 hours is just
Yeah, it's
not
not
enough. I am doing, well, actually, yeah, through the end of the year, I'm doing one-on-one sessions, but that's
Okay.
still 2 hours.
Right.
The best way to get acclimated, as you would say, on LinkedIn is to just get on it and start
Start jumping in.
using buttons.
Right.
Because everything that you've seen is self-taught.
Right. Right.
I didn't know a thing. I just knew sales. It was in 2008, but nobody was seeing a courier salesperson.
Right.
They just weren't. It's like, nope, I'm gonna send Susie's secretary to go take the package. So I needed a way to talk to a businessman that wouldn't give me the time of day. And what astounded me was the same man that I had sent emails to and texts, taking cups in with candy and my business card and a pen and a pad, nothing.
Right.
I'd ask him to connect on LinkedIn, the next thing I know, I'm sitting with him at lunch and we're signing a contract now. I was going, it can't be that easy. What just happened? After I did that a couple of times, I was like,
This is what
I think I'm onto something here. So I started just literally taking my prospect list and going, okay, am I connected to this guy? Yeah, I am connected to him, but I haven't talked to him on LinkedIn yet. And hey, can we get together for, oh, sure. I sent you the same email 2 weeks ago and you said no. So it's credibility. They can read about you on LinkedIn. They can read your profile. They feel like they know you before they meet with you. That's why it's so important to have a stellar profile. Because if you don't have that stellar profile, they're going to look and go,
It's funny you say that because when I worked with a lot of tax professionals, and we'd set a meeting for some like Lowe's CFO or something.
Right.
We noticed that a lot of people from Lowe's were checking out the profiles the day before the
Right.
meeting. They were, who are these guys? You know.
right.
And they were checking out.
You will, after you come, have you been to a LinkedIn local?
No, I have not.
Okay. Once you go to especially this one in
Yeah.
January, you'll find that day we're gonna do the button thing where everybody can see who they're connected to. But my views on LinkedIn go off the charts, and yours will too. I even had people contacting me to do one-on-one sessions because they're like, I don't know what to do with this. I've got all these people looking at me. What do I do? And I was like, let me show you what you do with those. So I get your point about wanting to know more about LinkedIn. The best way to do it is just get on
Jump in.
LinkedIn and start using it. Look at what other people are doing. Look at my profile and see how I have it set up and mimic it. And then just start reaching out to people.
Mhm.
Go to that dashboard and look at who's viewed your profile, look at who's viewed your post. The best thing you can do to promote your company is to post on LinkedIn. It really is. And for anybody who's in a service industry, you've got so much that you could be just, I've got a guy in Columbus that with Ted's Tax Tip Tuesday. Ted's Tax Tip Tuesday. People started following this guy after I trained him. He goes, oh, I can do tax tips. I went, yeah, you could. And he started doing it. And it was like, it took off for him because people started following him for that once a
Tax
week
tip.
tax tip. And I trained Holden Moss. I've got it posted. And he goes, I've got all this great information. I'm going to start doing that. He goes, what am I going to call it? And he was trying to figure out what he was going to call it. And I was like, it doesn't matter what you call it. It's just do it.
Yeah,
Just post.
consistency.
Consistency.
Is this where you post, or you doing your blogs on LinkedIn?
Yeah, when I do my blog, it goes to
I
LinkedIn.
gave myself away.
And that's okay.
Does Ted do a video, or he does just, Ted just writes it out?
Both.
He does both.
If you guys connect with Brian Parker, look at some of the stuff he
Yeah,
does.
Brian.
He does,
Union Mortgage.
Bam Bam, it's Union Home Mortgage. He's gonna be one of my sponsors at LinkedIn Low. This man is incredible. He'll get on and do a video, and he's just so natural at it. And it's really funny. The video I did, I'll show it to you. It's hideous. The one I did for LinkedIn Local, it is, it's
You're
horrible.
on Springfield. Well, you have.
I have to show it to him this way because I'm not connected to the internet, but I'll show him this way. Crack. Let me see. Let me go here. It is, it's really horrible. But I've had
People like the rawness of it,
367
right?
Yeah, it is, it's
Used to
crazy.
be the day where you have to
Registration
have really
is
good.
now open for January 15th, 11 to 1 at the NC State McKimmon Center. Come out and meet your LinkedIn connections and mine face to face at LinkedIn Local Raleigh Triangle. I look forward to seeing you there.
That's simple.
I tell you, it's better if you got a friend that holds the camera
Right,
back.
right,
on you,
exactly,
yeah.
Not looking at your nose.
But I want to do drips. Now this one goes back to what I said about people and pictures. There's my picture of me at Holden Moss. 1,928 views.
Wow.
Guy that did pressure washing on my house, 528 views.
Mm.
It is up. Okay, this is the LinkedIn information thing I did. It is up to 1,029 now. But at first it was like, now here are all of the new LinkedIn
Features.
changes. 384 views. People don't like to read. Now if I'd have stood there and read them off,
They're probably.
they would have listened.
Video.
Video. Another one, I was in a branding magazine with Timeless Photography. 1,329. Picture of me in my training class, 1,543. People love pictures of people. Doesn't matter how good you look. People just will. This is the one that I did of North State Bank. 2,400 views
Wow.
of my training. Let me get a picture.
Here,
of
I
you.
got a picture if y'all want.
We'll get
That
grouped
way you
together.
can picture- Yeah, let's get grouped together.
We can just
I'll
sit.
Whatever you